Not guilty is the verdict for a former Bastrop County Sheriff's deputy who shot and killed an unarmed woman.
Daniel Willis was responding to a call and shot Yvette Smith when he said he thought he saw a gun. KXAN's Chris Sadeghi was in the courtroom as the emotions boiled over after this acquittal.
Last year's hung jury was leaning towards convicting Willis, but Judge Albert McCaig said he would not be influenced by media or politics and that there was plenty of blame to go around.
And it is the verdict of this court that you are not guilty of the charges stated in the indictment.
That ruling brought on the tears and brought on the anger.
Total! A total!
But Willis's attorney, Robert McCabe, echoed what the judge said, that Willis was called to that home because two men were fighting over a gun.
Had they not acted like fools and done those things, Daniel Willis wouldn't have been called.
By reciting a Teddy Roosevelt quote, McCaig indicated it's easy to second-guess officers without being in their shoes, and then showed the difference between a judge and a jury that was leaning toward guilty last year.
I think jurors can be swayed by their life experiences, their emotions, their local citizens. They're swayed by things they read and see.
But the judge said he would rule on the law and ruled when Yvette Smith was killed, Willis was within it.
He has been a political scapegoat for Bastrop County for 2 years. He's ready to move on with his life.
And we're told Willis has not discussed his future with his attorney, but right now he simply wants to spend time with his family. In Bastrop, Chris Sadeghi, KXAN News.
The death of a
We're getting our first look at video from the night a Bastrop County Sheriff's deputy shot and killed a woman.
It is dash cam video played during day one of Deputy Daniel Willis's trial. A grand jury indicted him for murder after he shot and killed Yvette Smith. Chris Sadeghi watched that video and has more from Bastrop.
Both sides agree this case is going to boil down to what the jury feels are reasonable actions for a law enforcement officer, specifically the actions of Daniel Willis in a 3-second window. Dashcam video caught some of what happened, but the 3 seconds leading up to 2 gunshots will be key. Daniel Willis was called to the home on a report 2 men were fighting, and in opening statements, attorneys say that Yvette Smith was trying to get one of the men to put down a gun. But Willis, outside the home, is seen retrieving his rifle when a 911 call came in from the home that someone inside was loading the gun. Willis fired when Smith opened the door.
She opened the door! She had her hand.
Yvette Smith's family could hardly bear to watch and listen. Her son left the courtroom. Willis maintains he saw something in Smith's hand. Although there was a gun reported at the home, the prosecution says it was not in Smith's hand and Willis was too quick to fire.
I saw a gun.
Nobody had a gun. The gun's on the table right now. There's a gun on the table. Nobody has the gun in their hand.
Okay.
And although all the action may have happened in that 3-second window, this trial could last a week, possibly 2, as the jury's expected to hear more about the information Willis had going in to that call, a situation his attorney called a dangerous and deadly situation. In Bastrop, Chris Sadeghi, KXAN News.
A former Bastrop County Sheriff's deputy charged with murder for shooting an unarmed woman is back on trial after a hung jury 7 months ago. Daniel Willis was responding to a call when he shot Yvette Smith twice when she came to the door, even though she did not have a weapon. KXAN's Chris Sadeghi is at the courthouse in Bastrop, where there definitely will not be a hung jury this time.
On day 1 of this retrial, we heard and saw some of the same evidence we saw in the first trial. However, there are some key differences this time around that could sway the result. In opening statements, the state said Daniel Willis made a split-second irrational decision to pull the trigger and kill unarmed Yvette Smith. But his attorney, Robert McCabe, says split-second decisions are the ones officers have to make.
And when they do so, they're judged like this by inexperienced prosecutors, inexperienced investigators, and malicious prosecution.
Willis was responding to a disturbance call, and the caller said a gun was involved.
In the beginning,
that gun had been put away when he got there. But the defense says Willis never got that information.
The Bastrop County Sheriff's Department communications failed in this case, and that was a huge factor in Daniel Willis not knowing that that gun was put down.
In the first trial, the jury hung, with 8 of the 12 believing Willis was guilty. This time around, the decision is all Judge Albert McCaig's, who is seeing key dash cam video of the shots on Tuesday.
But this judge will not be swayed by local political pressure. He won't be swayed by what's in the news. Vindictiveness, political prosecution, scapegoat. That's why we're here.
The judge is not allowing audio from the courtroom in this trial. However, coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll take audio from the last trial, combine it with the video that we saw on Tuesday to give you the best look at the actions Daniel Willis took leading up to those shots that he fired. For now, we're in Bastrop. Chris Sadeghi, KXAN News.
While the murder case against former Deputy Willis continues, Bastrop County already settled a civil lawsuit over this shooting. Last April, Bastrop County agreed to pay $1.2 million to Yvette Smith's family. The family's lawsuit claimed the sheriff's office was negligent in hiring Willis. Records show Willis applied to work for the Austin Police Department but failed a psychological exam. He got a job as a jailer for Travis County. Willis took the exam to become a patrol deputy for the Travis County Sheriff's Office 3 times, but he did not pass. Then in May of 2013, Bastrop County hired him to become a deputy sheriff. We have a closer look at Willis's background at our website. Just look for these links with this story at KXAN.com.